I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Village clerk, please call roll.
Here.
Here. Move item number 2, Mayor's report. I have 3 things we'll cover tonight under the Mayor's report. Last Wednesday, November 7th, at approximately 5:45 p.m., Mayor Lewis Tower submitted his immediate resignation as mayor of Sauk Village. Thursday evening, an emergency meeting was called to fill this vacancy. After the corporate authorities voted 4-1, I humbly accepted the appointment of acting mayor for the remainder of the current term. Since the resignation and appointment, I have reached out to the following. I've reached out to the trustees seeking their advice and input. Although not all have accepted the olive branch, however, going forward, I would hope that we could agree that we can disagree, but let's no longer be disagreeable. I've reached out to the residents for their input as to what they feel are current issues in our community. In addition, residents were asked to submit letters of interest in hopes to appoint a replacement to fill the vacancy left by Trustee Robert Chavez. Trustees were provided those letters and were asked to provide their top 3 picks. Tonight, based on the top picks from the majority of the corporate authorities, I will present a name to fill this vacancy, and hopefully this individual will be confirmed. I've reached out to the staff, and yesterday we had our first joint departmental staff meeting. I've reached out to our engineering firm, Baxter & Woodman, for an update on the EPA loan. I've reached out to Schrader concerning the air strippers and the winterization, which should be completed this week. I've reached out to the business community, informing them that Sauk Village has much to offer and we want them here. I've reached out to our TIF consultants and scheduled a meeting to find out what we can do to bring businesses and jobs to our community. And most importantly, I've reached out to our auditors. And to steal a part of the phrase from the Jerry Maguire movie said, "Show me the audit." Sauk Village has many challenges, and I'm sure many more that are still unseen. These challenges we know, and in no specific order, are the following: healing the division among our residents, employees, and board members. Bringing back our motto of pride and progress, including order and decorum in our village board meetings. Understanding our finances, which include where we are today and where we're going forward. Scheduling meetings with our financial consultants, and again, demanding the audit results. Another one is reducing crime by making sure our officers have the support of this administration and the tools needed to combat the criminal. Water. First, to put a team led by neutral individuals who are not politically motivated, develop a plan, closely work with our state and federal agencies, and keep the residents informed. And litigation. Understanding which cases are legit and which are frivolous. Address the legit cases and take the necessary legal steps to go after the individuals that are falsely attacking you, the residents, in the court system. I will continue to reach out to all the village board members for their advice and their input as we develop a plan to move our community forward. Communication will no longer be lacking and will be the key to successfully turning Sauk Village around. I will be the first to admit I do not have all the answers, and I will humbly reach out to past and present elected officials from Sauk Village and surrounding communities for their advice. Our problems will not be resolved overnight. However, I can assure you the process has started. Thank you. Second thing I have is, I should have probably read this before I received it, but I just want to let the residents know the following. The Respond Now organization has once again provided holiday baskets for the residents of Sauk Village. We'd like to thank Mr. Carl Wolf and the Respond Now organization, not only for their help during the holiday season, but also for continuing to offer the food pantry in the Ed Basil Community Centers on Tuesday from 10 until 2 p.m. The demand far exceeds the amount of available holiday baskets. The Public Relations Committee has offered to seek funding to provide the remaining 25 baskets. that are necessary for those residents that called in before the cutoff announcement was made today. Anyone wishing to donate to the baskets, please contact Village Clerk Debbie Williams at 708-351-8922 before 5 p.m. tomorrow, which is Wednesday, November the 14th. I would respectfully request that each trustee official donate $20 to start the ball rolling. So if y'all would just consider that, I really would appreciate it. Again, this is for a good cause. This is for the residents, and these are baskets that we're giving out this Saturday. So, the last thing I have is a collector's report. So for September 2012, property taxes for September 2012 was $74,635.08. Other taxes, $197,905.65. Licenses and permits, $7,524.75. Fees and services, $247,951.51. There were no grants for the month of September. Transfers of $4,957.91. Interest, $137.97, and miscellaneous of $481,510.06. Total revenue for September 2012, $1,014,622.93. Year-to-date total revenue is $18,614,862.67. We'll get these collectors' reports out, and I just received this before the meeting. We want to continue doing this every month. We'll make sure the residents have copies of them. Also, if you'd like to get them on the website, I appreciate it, so residents can have access to this information. I know the residents have been asking for this information, so we want to make sure that you receive it. That ends my report. Move to Village Clerk Debbie Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Acting Mayor Hanks mentioned, we do have a holiday basket giveaway this weekend at the Poskin Community Center. And we are needing volunteers both to make phone calls tomorrow and probably the next day to verify the people who will be receiving those baskets. And also on Saturday at 10 o'clock, we need help packing and to help distribute the baskets at 12 o'clock. I do have a sign-in sheet here for anybody who would be interested in participating in both the phone calls today and tomorrow and the packing and distributing the baskets on Saturday. So see me please after the meeting. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's my report.
All right. Ms. Carmichael informed me she was not going to be able to attend tonight. Village attorneys have already called in. They're stuck in traffic, correct?
Yes.
All right. Move to village engineer. Tim Dyer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All right, this is just a reminder. I've addressed this several times now, but I'm just going to keep bringing it up until I get some direction from the board. The Lake Michigan water hearing is a mere 2 months away, and I've got to get the information so I can get the calculations, so I can get testimony submitted to IDNR. So, again, we have 3 options to address the non-revenue water. One is to increase the water rate by about 33% in order to make sure that we're not at a deficit. Second option is to promise to the IDNR that Sauk Village will do a capital improvement plan to decrease non-revenue water. And the third option is to cancel the current Lake Michigan water allocation application and reapply after Sauk Village has reduced the non-revenue water to IDNR's acceptable limits. So, just a reminder that to get Lake Michigan water, we're looking at around $15 per 1,000 gallons right now due to the recent water increases. So, I just need some guidance as to how you want me to frame that in the report that I'll be submitting. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
I think there's probably one thing we should add to the next committee meeting for discussion.
When is the deadline?
We have to submit testimony, I think, by around January 10th.
Okay.
So we'll have that on the next committee meeting for discussion. Will you be available?
believe so.
Thank you very much. Is that all you have?
Yes, thank you.
All right, move on to number 3, reports from trustees and board committee. Going on to item C, ordinance review committee, trustee Marsh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's just a few items that I'd like to cover tonight. First of all, due to the fact that the ordinance meeting is the day before Thanksgiving, I'm canceling the meeting this month, and the neighborhood watch meeting will follow Thanksgiving. I don't think I'm going to have too many presents, so that meeting will also be canceled this month. Once again, I urge for the holidays that the residents keep an eye on your neighbor. If you see anything strange, please give the police a call. Once again, if you have any senior citizens in your block, please check on your senior citizens. Who knows, at any time they may need the help. And I have one just 2 doors down from me that the alert went off, and I went over and she was able to make a fall when she fell, and she had a broken hip, and we gave a good help to her. Once again, I want to keep wish each and every one of you guys a good Thanksgiving until I get a chance to before then. And that's all I have on my report. I will give another report later on comments.
Thank you, trustee. Move to economic development, trustee Burgess.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to, first of all, say that we're now able to work with the mayor with bringing in new businesses. We have 2 new businesses that we're trying to bring into the new logistics center, and we're working now with the current lawyers in that TIF to make that possible. Also, I'd like to ask the board at this time that we need to get a new comprehensive plan together. It's going to take the zoning committee, and we have to work with them. Whatever we have to do, but we need a new comprehensive plan. The last one we had was in 1999, so we need to get that underway. And lastly, I'd like to find out from the board, we need to get a trifold or an advertisement together showcasing what we have in Sauk Village. That's something that we can hand out to the potential businesses when they try to come and when they come. I have something in place, but I need to get it printed. I will come to the board with the specifications of how we would like to have it done. And I ask them for the support to have that printed so we can have one hand in City Hall, and then we can, when businesses come out, we can give them out to them. And lastly, our next meeting will be this Thursday at 7 o'clock here at Village Hall. And I also like to wish everyone a happy and safe Thanksgiving. That is my report. Thank you.
Trustee, will you be ready by the next committee meeting to present that to the board?
That's what we're trying to get together this coming Thursday, that we can get something to you guys, to the board, so we can have something ready. Yes.
All right, so let's add this to the next agenda committee meeting. And if something changes, if you would just let the village clerk know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public Relations Committee, trustee Williams.
Thank you, Director Hayes. We'd just like to report that the Public Relations Committee is actively working on assisting the village clerk and respond now in the Thanksgiving basket giveaway. And we're also starting Student Government Day. As we all know, it's that time of year again, so please look out for multiple fundraisers and topic ideas. We are not at the point where we're deciding on a topic yet, but that will be for next month's meeting. So between now and next month's meeting, if anybody has any ideas about topics for the essay, please feel free to submit them to Village Hall and the attention of myself or Village Clerk Williams, because those usually go out to the schools before the Christmas break. So if anybody has any topic ideas, and for those of you who may be in the audience who may not know exactly what I'm talking about, the 8th graders in Sauk Village, we ask them to submit an essay regarding a topic that the Public Relations Committee does select, and the essay is roughly 250 to 500 words about that topic. And from those essays, we pick students in the area to represent elected officials up here on a night in March. So again, if anybody has any suggestions on any topic ideas, please let myself or the village clerk know, and that will be our request.
Thank you, trustee. Chicago Southland Housing Community Development Evaluation, trustee Benson. Thank you, trustee. Move item number 4, reports of departments, committees, and commissions. Fire Department, Police Department, 911, Chief Sauk.
Thank you, Mayor, Board, residents of Sauk Village. The Police Department has instituted the tow ordinance effective November the 1st. Within the last week, we had approximately 8 tows since the first, with a potential fine amount of $5,500, with $3,000 in cash collected already. Officer Huffnagel has been activated by a mobile field force to respond to New Jersey to help with the disaster that has befallen that community. He may be deployed this week, and if so, all overtime monies will be paid by FEMA back to the village. And on Friday the 9th, officers responded to shots fired call. Within 24 hours, the detective division arrested and charged the suspect with armed robbery and 2 counts of aggravated discharge of a weapon. The case is still open at this time and may have additional offenders. In a week, the police department has taken 620 calls for service. This includes 3 accidents, 15 burglaries, 25 domestic, and 43 arrests. Among those arrests included aggravated battery to a police officer, resisting a police officer, possession of cannabis, 3 DUIs, and 1 heroin arrest. That is the report from the police. Go with the fire department. From November 2nd through November the 8th, the department had responded to 11 calls. And I've got just one more part here. The fire department currently has several firefighters in different areas of training. We have one in the Firefighter Academy at Prairie State, and 2 firefighters are attending specialized training in fire apparatus engineering. As always, we continue our Tuesday night training for all fire department personnel. The Fire Department Association will be holding a pancake breakfast with Santa on Sunday, December the 16th, from 8 a.m. till noon. Adults are $5, kids and seniors $4. Bring your cameras if you want pictures taken with Santa. The cold weather is upon us, and I'd like to remind everyone to change the filters in your house. A dirty filter is not only a fire hazard, but it is likely to increase your gas bill, as your furnace will be working harder than it needs to. It is also time to check your batteries and your smoke detectors. We suggest checking and replacing the batteries every 6 months in the spring or the fall. And lastly, with the holidays coming up, I know a lot of people will be making large purchases as gifts. Just as a safety note, I would be discreet when bringing big ticket items into your home, or once you've got them out of the boxes, you put the boxes back out on the street. You're just asking for somebody to come in and help themselves. And that has my report.
Yes, sir, just the chief.
I have a report of the committee of the trustees, a report of the report that is given for police department.
Yes, I can.
I appreciate it.
All right, move the Public Works Department.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm always going to start off this with we need more staff, because we need more staff. But hopefully we will be able to get that next 6 months. First thing is we need more staff. Second item, reporting on streetlight issues. We did do 5 repairs of some of the bigger complaints. We did have one day that we had some nice conditions, so we did work on a bunch of lights. 5 is quite a bit for a day. We do have multiple lights still out, and we will be working on those off and on as the conditions allow us. We do have streetlight poles to put up too. And there's about 7 or 8 of them to put up, and those will follow that. We are working on landscaping as we get closer to setting up for our winterization for our trucks. We have to offload some of the dirt that we have not had an opportunity to put down for landscaping, so we are trying to do that by landscaping locations as we're doing some of the patch work. We did do a few patches in town. One at 221st in Torrance, one at 222nd Street in Chappelle. The other one is 217 Place by the library. There's a section over there we have some bad pothole areas, and 224th and Nichols. Each one of those locations, if they need landscaping, we took care of that. The leaf pickup is ongoing. All leaves must be out, all piles must be out in the street by November 25th. Once we pass that, after the 25th, that is the last time we'll be by. The sweeper will follow the leaf program. It might not be right after they're picked up, but it will be a few days after that. And we cannot pick up piles, so please do not put piles in the street. The sweeper is just for the debris left from basically when we sweep off, we get broken leaves and the dust from it. Storm branches, we do still have storm branches out from about a week and a half ago of the weather conditions. We had a couple of windy days, 1 week, and we are still ongoing with that. All storm branches must be put out by the end of November, and the first 2 weeks in December, we are setting up some scheduled dates to have those picked up. Let's see here. Hydrants. We are currently putting together a list of our current list of hydrants that are out of service, and we will be starting beginning of the year to start replacing some hydrants in town. Hopefully we'll start on the 2 that we have currently in the yard, and then we'll try to replace the next 10 possible that are in line for that. And possibly from all the parts from the ones we pulled, we'll be able to put together at least another 5 or 6 from there to repair. Next item, the air strippers. Yes, they are working on the winterization of them. They started today, and they will continue working on putting the heat wraps on there, the blanketing, and any other protection as needed. And they will also, after the heat wraps are put on, they will take apart the air strippers themselves, and they will clean them out and use the general maintenance, which our staff will be on staff. They will be watching. We will be able to do that afterwards. Meter reading complaints. In the past, when we had the estimated billing, a lot of residents' bills went up the next cycle because the estimates were low. We had a lot of residents call in with complaints saying that there's something wrong with the meter. We did, so far we've had probably about 30 calls, and we have some ongoing still in schedule. And at least 95% of the calls were residential issues, with whether it was a toilet running, a softener running, the kids in the house, or they had a problem that they had fixed and they didn't remember it, and they caught it the next month, so that the billing went up. We did have a few meters that we did pull apart, and when we tested them, usually when we tested them, they were just caked up inside from some iron. They were cleaned out, put back in service after testing, and everything is good at those locations. And then finally, we are preparing to get our trucks ready for winter. And if we had anything like last year, we'll save a lot of money, and that will be a great thing. We have plenty of salt on hand, and we do have salt ordered for this year, which we did get a $10 rate decrease in the cost, so we will save on that. And the final thing is, I received a letter from Finance Department, Mr. Mohan, a credit that we received back from ComEd. I called back, and it's for the electrical usage at the water department. I guess if we pay our bill on time for 12 months consecutively, we get a nice deposit check back, which is $14,630. Plus, we gain interest on that, $27.39. So 2 years in a row, we've been getting this, and this is the first I've seen the check, the actual deposit check, but last year I think we got around $12,000. So if all on time, we're going to get some money back from the $14,657.39, and then the interest was $27.39. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Weller. Move to item number C, Administrative Services Director, Mr. Zinski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't know if I can do it. Code enforcement wrote 79 tickets from October 23rd to November 12th. To year to date, I've had 170 FOIAs, and the clerk's office is shorthanded this week due to one of our girls being out for surgery, and I think that's going to conclude my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Finance Director, Mr. Rowell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As of today, we have about $102,823.11 in First Midwest Bank, and we have $9,757.05 in Illinois plans. And we may have to borrow money once again as we quote from water sewer fund to fund general fund expenditures, almost in the amount of about $200,000. That's my
Please let the board know if you through an email or something. All right. Is that all I have? Yes, sir. Trustee Burgess.
Am I correct in saying that right now in general fund is 102,833? That's what everything that you have on here that's been paid. Payroll has been paid, correct?
Yeah, payroll has been paid out.
So then the rest of this would be just
Yes,
accounts payable that's.
most of them are entirely necessary and important payments that has to go.
Okay, the Skyline is one of those, I'm pretty sure.
It is coming from West Management.
Right.
It's not part of it.
Skyline's a separate account.
Okay, I guess we're gonna have to put some arithmetic when it comes time to pass this. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Move to Emergency Services and Disaster Agency, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So November 2nd through November 8th, as we responded to 11 calls. And just a reminder, as we're getting ready to get into the holidays, when you're traveling, make sure you check your tires and your windshield wipers and everything. Be prepared as when the weather gets bad and drive safely. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Senior Committee, Ms. Wilson. Kevin, can you run the mic, please? Can you run the mic, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Senior Committee's free blood pressure screening, co-sponsor of the plan, is tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Since the village hall is closed, you have to come in on the north entrance. Just want to belated thank you for the participants, the volunteers, the U.S. Bank, village clerk, and committee members for making our night spaghetti dinner such a huge success. Our participation in a large volume of donations to our book program continues. We have new flyers listing the dates of free blood pressure and computer class, and also the Zumba Go class. And I do want to mention that this Thursday and Friday, our computer class is canceled, and the seniors that are taking the class are asked to review the provided CD for their lessons. Ceramic group continues to meet Wednesday, and Sauk Village Fun Club's free line dancing for the members is still at 3 o'clock on Sundays. Leisure Timers' next meeting is Wednesday the 14th at 6 p.m. Sunshiners, the Monday group, next meeting is November 19th. The VFW continues to meet on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday, 7:30. Sauk Village Bluegrass meets every Sunday at 6 p.m. The BMW Cross World Motorcycle Group meets on the 3rd Tuesday at 7:30. All groups are looking for members, so if you're interested, you can attend. Bloom Township still has that Illinois yellow dot, which is first responder for all accidents. They are holding that Monday through Friday, and the all-cost shoot is $2 for a photo. They are taking open enrollment on Medicare Part D. You do need to call to make an appointment. The deadline is December 7th. And they are looking for recipes for their second cookbook for their winter printing. If you are submitting a recipe, please include your name and the municipality you live in. Last Friday morning, I attended a volunteer training on Senior Medical Patrol, which is SMP, and it has to do with frauds and everything, and also the meeting with the Sauk Suburban Senior Services. All this, of course, is on a volunteer basis and my expense. Age option, the primary purpose was to provide volunteers on how to handle presentation and the available materials available. And the Sauk Suburban Senior Services, which is SSS, provides updated information on various senior services. That's your circuit breaker, which no longer is used except for a discount on license plates, and other health services. Both the SMP and the SSS are looking for volunteers. I guess if you are a volunteer for age option, you do have a background check. And I want to thank Public Works for coming in at least to do some of the minor work that we've been waiting for a long time. I know they're short of staff, so we've had our clocks. We still have a few things to do yet. Another thing is I'm a little disappointed that we have a sitting volunteer who seems to be unaware that we have any village senior activities going on. Although we have not been listed in the village budget at all for any monetary, we are providing a lot of activities. I don't know if when I give my report if I'm speaking too quickly or not speaking loud enough. Of course, all the reports that I've given is in our board meeting minutes. Hopefully, anyone who is sitting there unaware of senior activities, they can always leave a message with the village number, and they will get a call back from a knowledgeable person. Or perhaps if you provide them with various flyers that we have out, Sauk Talk and or the Southland Voice, which do list our ongoing senior activities. Most of them are free, thanks to the my committee members with their volunteers and donation and time. Thank you. This ends my report.
Thank you. Move to Human Relations Commission, Beautification Committee. Frank.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I will give the beautification report first, if you don't mind. And I would like to start with reference to the minutes from September 25th, 2012, where it states that I was asked for the winners of the beautification committee. That request came to me at the end of the day, November the 11th, and I did provide that information. However, for the record, and I would like for the names of the winners to be included in the record. So I'm going to give our winners as well as those who placed, if it was okay with you. First place winner is Timothy and Edna Johnson. The second place winner, Martha Scariano. Third place winner, Bob and Rose Ketchum. I may just happen to be here right now. Honorable mentions, Philip Bonaparte, Julius Miles, Boris Priestley, Preaceley, and Darren and Britannia Ulmer. And it gives me great pleasure to recognize them one at a time. Thank you, sir. Moving on.
Mr. Mayor, before we go on, can I ask to have those in writing? A couple of those names I would.
They were emailed to you then.
Well, I didn't have it open my email in about 2 hours.
Board money.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me? What time was your email into me this afternoon?
4:03 this morning.
Thank you. This morning?
This morning.
I didn't get that email. I've been on my email all day.
Okay, let's not do that. Let me finish my report.
Please resend. That's all I'm asking, Ms. Crowe. I didn't get that email.
Beautification Committee moving forward. We plan to take down the fall decorations at the village signs prior to December the 1st. And at that time, we will decorate the village hall and the community center for certain. Fire department, we will definitely do whatever you would like for us to do as well.
Donations, please.
Well, we will try to do whatever you would like. In terms of the community center, decorating that, previously we received funds from Parks and Recreation to decorate those areas. So I'm not certain where those items are and or if any of those funds are still available for it, but we can talk about that offline. And that concludes that report, Your Honor.
A question on the items that we looked at last week that we found behind us room here. Those are yours or they're the village?
Those belong to the beautification committee, myself, and this edifice. The ones we're talking about now are for the community
So
center.
there's still some missing. Kevin, do you have any idea if there any of that stuff was taken out to the garage? There was? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Human Relations Commission, I'm very pleased to report that we have been in communication with CETA, and a representative, well, in fact, the president from that organization attended the last Human Relations Commission meeting, and we talked about holiday baskets. We requested 100. I communicated back with that office today. They are still in the recruiting stage, but they will know Friday exactly how many baskets they would give us, and I'm hoping that that would support the Public Relations Commission Committee's efforts, and maybe we can meet the needs of those that you're not able to meet. You know, we definitely are in this together, so, you know, hopefully we will get the money to gift baskets. Moving on, the Human Relations Commission also will be partnering with the Plan Group, the Beautification Committee, and village officials to stage our annual Christmas parade and tree lighting ceremony. And that's to take place December the 1st. And the actual timeline is not 100% complete yet, but I just invite everyone to look for flyers and additional updates during the course of this month, but typically it is a full day activity. And that concludes that report.
Thank you very much. Human Alliance Committee, Ms. Booker. Before we move to item number 5, I'd like to go back up to item 2D, Village Attorney, Michael Bear.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll let you begin, like Cheryl Laxon, 394. I passed out to yourself and the board a short memo that I put together. I just wanted to give an update as far as the grievances that were pending in the police department and the dispatch center. As you recall, a couple months ago, I issued a memo and found out that there was approximately 120 grievances that were pending, and I know the village board and my office, we were unaware of it, received those from Rob Nickershire, from the FOP, the field agent, and he contacted me and sent me copies of those because nothing had been done with those. They hadn't been advanced to the next step, or they weren't moving any closer to resolution. So I had conversations with Chief Sauk again, given the change of personnel, we thought it would be a good idea to try to reach out and try to resolve these grievances. I reached out to the FOP, and lo and behold, they turned over about 60 more grievances on Friday. I set up a meeting with them. They came to my office yesterday, 2 attorneys and a couple field agents or field reps from the FOP. And when they came out, they brought about 15 more grievances from the dispatch center and the police department. So in total, we had a stack about this high of 200 grievances. And quite frankly, all the grievances were along the line as they laid out in the memo that I gave you. They all claimed that there's a number of infractions or violations of the collective bargaining agreements with those bargaining units on behalf of Chief Fox, former Chief Fox, I should say. They range anywhere from denial of staff command pay, officer in charge pay, denial of pre-scheduled overtime, awarding of overtime to less senior officers, improperly giving out work assignments and specialty assignments, failing to post specialty assignments, thereby more senior officers were not even aware of certain specialty assignments, the denial of vacation time, and this was outside of the period of the water distribution, so that wasn't in effect, but a lot of officers and dispatchers rightfully put in for vacation time, and vacation time is denied, even though it was put in and scheduled according to the contract. There were violations of minimum staffing, and then there was a number of timesheets that were altered by former Chief Fox. There was multiple schedule changes without proper notice, and this is just a list of some of the items, or the type of issues that the grievance is related to. As I stated in my memo, the grievances, they have to be resolved. If not, they end up going to arbitration, which would be very expensive to the village by way of legal fees, and you have to pay for the arbitrator, and they take the chief or staff out to testify. It's very time consuming and labor intensive. And I just noted that we just got a decision today on an arbitration that we tried to resolve. The former Chief Fox, he pursued it against our direction, and that's the one with the take-home vehicles. So we just got that decision today, and that, to refresh your memory, the investigators' take-home vehicles were taken away from them at the direction of Chief Fox, even though there was a written settlement reached about a year earlier that they were allowed to take home those vehicles. And then it came out that former Mayor Towers had a take-home vehicle. The arbitrator ruled that it was a clear violation of the contract. I noted that because this is a clear example that if you take it to all the way to the end and try to prove up your case and you lose, it ends up costing the village a lot of money. So that's why decided to try to get together with the FOP. I met with them for about 4.5 hours yesterday, and we were able to resolve approximately 60 of the grievances just yesterday. They had to talk to their membership about the other grievances, and I think we can have it all resolved by the end of the month. I concluded my memo by indicating that I think the work that we've done in resolving these grievances, not all of them would go to arbitration, but I think a majority of them would have had Chief Fox still been in place. And I think if that were the case, that the village would have spent thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars needlessly in litigation, in legal fees. So I'm just updating the report that I think we are all resolved in the state. The village, by our estimate, over $92,000.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chief, also for working with the attorney firm. Move item number 5, ordinances resolutions. There's a motion to approve an ordinance dissolving the special tax allocation fund and terminating the Village of Sauk Village TIF number 1 redevelopment project area. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Village Clerk, please call the roll.
Vincent?
Trustee, I'm going to recuse this
Oh.
motion.
Burgess?
Yes.
Hanks?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Motion carries. Move item number 6, new business. Item number A, approval of accounts payable and disbursements for October 31st, 2012 through November 13th, 2012. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Trustee?
To date, my figures, I'm looking at roughly 200 we have to borrow. Is that correct?
That's true.
Okay. To date, where were we at as far as on the water?
Water, we have as of today, we have in the bank 422,319.35 plus and electronic e-pay account, we have another 13,000 in essence. We have 435,500.
Okay, no, my question was, we still owe them also, correct?
Definitely, yes. We owe approximately about $350,000.
Any other questions or comments?
I think we're going to have, in order for this to happen, we'll have to borrow.
pretty strict on collecting all the money, whatever, owed to the Sauk Village.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking that, I know that airstrippers, I noticed that that's, there was nothing in here for that. And I'm sure that's gonna be another bill, I guess they bill us once a month, we get these every 2 weeks. So I'm just wondering, I'm just hoping, when that bill comes, because I know we owe that, but we have money for that, because we haven't paid them either. I mean, that's something that has to be paid. I mean, so I just want to delete the whole account. It doesn't, but we have to take into account that we do have to pay the airstripper that's coming in, and probably for the winterization probably won't be that much, but we still owe money for the monthly fees for the airstripper.
Therefore, I'm scheduling only very important and necessary payments that needs to be paid out. The bills that can be held for a month or two, definitely will all pay. We don't pay right away. And we will pay only the necessary and important expenditure that has to go on, means that will be paid only.
Okay. Can we keep I mean, I know that the airstripping project is, even with the weatherization project is something that, is ongoing, but we have to kind of look at those costs. Even with backfill equipment and things like that, we have to kind of look at those costs. But I just want to make sure we have enough, because I do know that in December we probably will be hit with those airstripping. Thank you.
Trustee Burgess, your initial statement was something about 200. What was that statement?
I was saying that we have no choice. In order for us to make payments, in order for us to make payments to accounts payable, we would have to borrow approximately $200,000 out of the water and sewer fund.
You mean the next time?
No, now.
Now.
Yes. So if I need to amend that, I'm not sure.
For the account payable disbursements.
I mean, do we have to make an amendment to, we decide we have to make a motion to pull money out?
Yes, the finance director, if he needs to.
Okay. Do you want that as a motion to, if necessary, well, I won't say if necessary, that's already given, do you want the board to vote on?
Better to have a motion. Yes.
Okay, then I guess we have to pass this, and then mayor, I guess we'll have to ask for another motion to.
So the next motion will be to approve the accounts payable and to borrow approximately 200,000. Is it 200,000 even from the water and sewer? So who made the motion?
I made the motion to pay up to accounts payable.
Are you withdrawing your motion?
Yes, I withdraw the motion.
Are you withdrawing your second? Okay, we have a motion and a second withdrawn. Now we need a motion and a second to, again, to approve the accounts payable as is and to borrow $200,000 from the water and sewer fund.
So,
We have to get a motion and a second first.
Mr. Trustee,
We have to get a motion and a second on the floor first for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we pay accounts payable with the borrowing of, I guess it's $200,000 from the water fund in order to pay accounts payable. I make that motion.
Okay, now we have a motion and a second. Trustee Vincent, you have any discussion?
Trustee Hayes, you cannot make a motion that is not a part of the agenda to pass the accounts payable, but take money out of the water fund. And that needs to be on this. You bring up a different subject, you want to talk about it, you can, but you cannot vote on that. And you want to just take $200,000 out and just put it on your vote for you, that's inappropriate. That's inappropriate for the record.
And that's your opinion. So, your opinion is for the record. Do you have any discussion?
I'm sorry, can I just make a relation? I'm a little bit confused. When Trustee Burgess first asked the finance director if the money was available already to pay the accounts payable, I thought you said there was. Are you saying there's not enough money to pay? Okay, that's just for clarification. Thank you.
Trustee Myers?
I have a question for the attorney. you heard the comments that Trustee Benson made. You have a comment on that, sir?
My comments, it's routinely done in a lot of municipalities to make note of a transfer of funds, so you have sufficient funds to make your account payable to this person.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Village clerk, please call roll.
Benson.
No.
Burgess.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams. Yes.
Motion carries. Item number B, motion to approve the CDBG subscription agreement. Any motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, Village clerk, please call roll.
Benson.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number C, motion to approve the intergovernmental agreement for the provision of environmental health inspection services through Cook County. Is there a motion?
Make the motion, sir.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Village clerk, please call roll.
Benson.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams. Yes.
Motion carries. Move item number 7, approval of minutes. Item number A, September 25th, 2012 minutes.
So moved.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, Village clerk, please call roll.
Benson.
No.
Burgess.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams. Yes.
Motion carries. Item number B, September 25th, 2012. The special meeting. That's right. There's the second one's for Turner.
Second.
Any motion?
Good. I'll make the motion that we accepted the special meeting.
Okay.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Village clerk, please call roll.
Benson.
No.
Burgess.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams. Yes.
Motion carries. Item number C, September 25th, 2012, the regular board meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion is second on the floor. Any discussion? Hearing none, Village clerk, please call roll.
Benson.
No.
Burgess.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams. Yes.
Motion carries. Item number D, October 4th, 2012, the committee meeting. Is there, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
The motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Motion second, is there any discussion? Village clerk, please call roll.
Benson.
No.
Burgess.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number D, I'm asking to have a table. Is there a motion to table? A motion?
Second.
Table. We have a motion second on the floor to table. They're not ready.
Okay, yes, I was going to ask
I
that.
guess I should have said, they're not ready for review. I think the village clerk got a little proactive and thought they'd be ready.
Okay, I just wanted to know why, that's all.
I'm sorry.
I asked that on questions, but okay.
Right, any other discussion?
So the reason for you on the table, item D only, is why?
The minutes not prepared for us to review. Thought they would be ready by tonight. Hearing no other discussion, village clerk, please call roll.
Benson.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Motion carries. Goes to item number 8, motion to recess to executive session to discuss personnel matters, update pending litigation, collective bargaining, matters of real estate, employment, and compensation if needed.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second on the floor. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to executive session and we'll be back hopefully shortly. Thank you.
Mike? Turn your mic. Oops.
Second.
Benson.
Yes.
Burgess. Haynes.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Alrighty. But item number A, motion to appoint a replacement to the trustee seat vacated by Robert Chavez. The motion to approve John Poskin for this position. The motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion second on the floor, any discussion?
Yes, trustee, for the record, I know that in my opinion, and from what I've researched, in my opinion, you cannot make appointments. The only time you can make appointments is unless you actually resign the seat of trustee. And I know that this law firm went out, researched, and then made his conclusion on what his opinion is also. It's an opinion just like mine is. I know for a fact that you cannot make this appointment because you have not decided to vacate your seat as trustee and take on a full position as mayor. So, because of that, I will be recusing. I will perform a recusal of his motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir. Trustee Myers.
may I hand a memo from us to the village clerk where she reads the Illinois Compliance Statute 65-531-10-50? Sir.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Excuse me, Mr. Mayor and Trustee Myers. This is also on the back table. For those of you who didn't get it, we have to make copies for you. Give it to you. If you just call me, I'll make sure you get that. Which one did you put paragraph you want to read? I know you want to read the whole thing. This part right here? Okay. Pursuant to your request, please allow this memorandum to serve as a summary of the acting mayor's power to appoint a replace for trustee vacancies. Section 3.110-50F1 of the Municipal Code provides that where a mayoral vacancy occurs with less than 28 months remaining in the unexpired portion of a 4-year mayoral term, or less than 130 days before the general municipal election, the vacancy must be filled by the corporate authorities electing one of their members as acting mayor or acting president. Except as set forth in subsection D, the acting mayor or acting president shall perform the duties and possess all the rights and powers of the mayor or president until a mayor or president is elected at the next general municipal election and has qualified. That is State Statute 65 ILS 5/3.1-10-50F1. Accordingly, the same subsection provides that for the remainder of the unexpired mayoral term, an acting mayor possesses all rights and powers of the mayor as set in section D. And again, this is on the back table. I know you don't want me to read the back page as well, but I would be more than happy to provide this to anybody who needs it.
I think, go ahead. Especially with the comments that were made in the last board meeting, I think we should go ahead and read it all. Start with the ID. We have the time. Louder than what it usually is.
Subsection D of section 3.1-10-50 provides as follows. Election of an acting mayor or acting president. The election of an acting mayor or acting president pursuant to subsection F or G does not create a vacancy in the original office of the person on the city council or as a trustee, as the case may be, unless the person resigns from the original office following election as acting mayor or acting president. If the person resigns from the original office following election as acting mayor or acting president, then the original office must be filled pursuant to the terms of the section. An acting mayor or acting president shall exercise the powers of the mayor or president and shall vote and have veto power in the manner provided by law for a mayor or president. If the person does not resign from the original office following election as acting mayor or acting president, then the acting mayor or acting president shall exercise the powers of the mayor or president, but shall be entitled to vote only in the manner provided for as the holder of the original office and shall not have the power to veto. If the person does not resign from the original office following election as mayor or acting president, and if that person's original term of office has not expired when a mayor or president is elected and has qualified for office, the acting mayor or acting president shall return to the original office for the remainder of the term thereof. State Statute 65 ILCS 5/3.1-10-50D, emphasis added. Therefore, subsection D of section 3.1-10-50 provides that an acting mayor who does not resign from his positions as trustee shall be entitled to vote only as a trustee and shall not have the power to veto. Subsection D of section 4.1-10-50 does not provide any limitations on an acting mayor's powers regarding appointments for trustee vacancies. Therefore, pursuant to subsection D and F, colon 1 of section 3.1-10-50, the acting mayor possesses the same appointment powers as a mayor with regards to trustee vacancies. This opinion is further augmented by the provisions of section 3.1-10-50E, which provides that an appointment to fill a trustee vacancy is to be made by the mayor or president or acting mayor or acting president. State Statute 65 ILCS 5/3.1-10-50E. Therefore, an appointment to fill a trustee vacancy may be made by an acting mayor, and the appointment must follow the advice and consent procedure set forth in section 3.1-10-50.
Thank you, Mr. President. Any other comments or questions?
No, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Acting Trustee, actually, in reference to the statute that was read, that's why they call it research. You go and you constantly research and you dig in deeper, and there are things that you did not read that they don't want you to know. But so for the record, let me once say again, I will be informing a recusal to all of these appointments, and I will be following the injunction. Stop you from doing
Any other comments, please? Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, Village Clerk, please call roll.
Benson.
Yes.
Burgess.
Abstain.
Hanks.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Motion carries. I'd like to ask John Poskin to please come forward and be sworn in.
John Poskin, having been appointed to the office of trustee in the village of Sauk Village, in the county of Cook and will aforesaid, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Sauk Village Trustee. Congratulations.
You come take your seat. All right. Move to item number B, motion to make various appointments. Next, requesting a motion to appoint Jeff Norton to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Is there a motion? Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Trustee, how do you make an agenda what motion to make various appointments with no appointment name, or anything. I think it's appropriate.
Very much.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Village Clerk, please call roll.
Benson. Burrs.
Yes.
Hanks.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Do the second.
Oh, it's a meeting, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, I thought it was like Poskin.
All right, motion
I'm
carries.
still trying to figure out where.
I'm gonna make the second motion, we won't have these individuals come up. I have a second one from the zoning board. I'd like a motion to appoint Gary Bell to the zoning board of appeals. Is there a motion?
Make the motion.
A motion is second on the floor. Any discussion, comments?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it's not only agenda, but recusal. I will be performing the recusal.
Any further? All right, Village Clerk, please call roll.
Benson. Burgess.
Yes.
Hanks.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Poskin. Williams.
Yes.
Motion carries. I would ask Jeff and Gary if you would please come forward and be sworn in.
Has been appointed to the office of zoning board commissioner in the village of Sauk Village, in the county of Cook and will, aforesaid, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of zoning board commissioner.
Yeah. Next, I ask for a motion to appoint Gary Holcomb to the Housing Authority and Chair of the Housing Authority.
So moved.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Village Clerk, please call roll.
Benson. Burgess.
Yes.
Hanks.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Poskin.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Motion carried. Ask Mr. Holcomb, if you please come forward and be sworn in.
Gary Holcomb, having been appointed to the office of Housing Authority Commission Chair in the village of Sauk Village, in the county of Cook and will, aforesaid, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Housing Authority Commissioner Chair, according to the best of my ability. I don't think so.
All right. Next, I'd like to request a motion to appoint Sherry Jandinski as liquor commissioner. Whoa. Is there a motion? question or comments?
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, Trustee Haynes. Wow. You don't possess the power to transfer that commission that you have to an individual. Your power, I asked the attorney a question, and he didn't know. He was very unclear about transferring powers. And yet, you come out here and you want to transfer your powers, liquor license commission, because you don't want to have it to an individual that you cannot do. So, that power is only there and has been titled for the mayor. Whether you're the mayor, acting chief, acting mayor, you cannot transfer that power. You can't. But I'm going to do another refusal.
Again, that's your opinion.
I know.
Just to be clear, I want to make sure that we did discuss this in the executive session, and it was asked about the ability to transfer this specific item, which was stated that it could happen, you can transfer mayor to the liquor commissioner. And I do believe that Mayor Hanks did cite previous precedents in Sauk Village. The question that Trustee Benson is referring to transfer the appointment powers, as in appointing of a trustee. Could Mayor Hanks appoint or transfer his appointment power of trustee to a different trustee? And at that point, it was unclear because there wasn't any research that I know Trustee Benson was fond of. So I just want to make it clear that we're not doing anything that was not gone through the attorney's report. We're all aware we discussed this executive session.
And we'll also make it part of the record that Mr. Zinsky is not doing anything different than she has under the previous mayor. She will continue doing the same thing as liquor commissioner.
Trustee Hanks, she's not doing anything different, but the mayor, Tower, he never transferred that power to her. He never did that. What she did was work with him, but he never transferred his power because he understood that he could not transfer that power. But go ahead, he do what he did.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Burgess.
could you please tell this board and this audience how much that position pays?
It pays 0. It's a non-paid position.
That makes it right.
Just ask the question.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Village Clerk, please call roll.
Benson.
Recusal.
Burgess.
Yes.
Hanks.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Poskin.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, Mr. Zinsky, please come forward.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of liquor commissioner according to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Sheriff. And lastly, in view of the recent restructuring of the police department, I am abolishing the Police Alliance Committee immediately and for the time being. All right. Move to item number 10, public comment.
This was not on the agenda tonight, but I want to thank everybody that was at the cemetery Sunday for Veterans Day. I know we didn't have enough tickets for everybody, but next year we'll have enough. And I would like to invite everybody to, if you know somebody that's a veteran and if we can do anything for them, get in touch with me. And we need some volunteers, we need some people that want to join the American Legion and the VFW. And folks, we may not be, you may not be but a small community, but I'll tell you what, you can move a lot of people when you want to set your mind to it. And everybody can say what they want to. When I sat on that board, I wish this room would have been as full when I sat on it as it is tonight. Thank you. I'm the commander of the VFW. I'm junior vice, senior vice of the American Legion. I also belong to the 40 and 8. And Ed Myers, you know our buddy got killed Sunday night.
Yes, I do.
The Batano people, we lost a good man. He was a fireman in Stager. His wake is Thursday night, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And I worked with him for about 3 years, people.
He's also a vet too, John. He was in the United States Air Force.
He's another vet. He was
Yes.
from the Air Force.
He was in the Air Force, right.
He worked for the CTA.
I have one question for you, John.
What's that?
At the ceremony, you said that you're going to start the bricks back up. I would like to inform you tonight, I will be the first one to purchase the first brick for my family. I'm also relative in the Vietnam War, so I'll be the first one to pick one up.
Okay.
I'd like to know, can you give me an approximate cost of how much it would cost for the weatherization and the Cadillac airstrip? How much was that approximately? For the weatherization, you said the heat wrap.
Topics on the agenda. Topics on the agenda.
He gave a report. He said, Trustee, he gave a report. He gave a
Trustee,
can't do that.
Trustee, we're very clear, we've been very consistent. It's items on topics on the agenda. I think if you probably were to go and talk to the Public Works Department afterwards, you might be able to get that information for you.
Trustee Haynes, he gave on his report, when you gave his report on the agenda, his report was on the agenda. She's asking for an agenda item. That's his report. And she has no right to ask that. Now, I would suggest that you have him answer her question.
There we go. We're going to say no. I said it's not on the agenda. The answer will not be given.
Good. Well, my second question is that according to Jim Cernak on his report, he indicated that the Lake Michigan award application was considered canceled. I'd like to know which trustees are in favor of canceling the Lake Michigan award application. It was in this report.
Again, it's not a topic. It's on the agenda.
Okay. Also, in the village engineer's report, he indicated that rate increase was going up to 15.24%. According to this comprehensive plan, the rate was going up to $10.37. I'd like to know what is the difference, where did you get that figure from?
Again, it's not on the agenda.
In other words, you guys are not going to answer any questions that residents come up with.
We will answer questions that we know the answers to and that are on topics on the agenda.
Okay, my last
Next Tuesday night allows you to come and ask any question you want. It doesn't have to be on the agenda next Tuesday night.
My last question was that $200,000 was taken out of the water fund. If you guys would leave the water fund alone, maybe Illinois EPA would know we have some money we can have paid back. I want to know why you guys always take money out of the water fund. It's supposed to be, money is supposed to be there for water-related issues. What you take this money out for is illegal, and I want to know why everybody's using the water fund. It's not for water-related issues. $200,000, we got that kind of money to give away, if we got $200,000 to give away, then we don't need to be paying all that water fund money.
We're taking that into consideration.
Take what into consideration? I want to know why you guys are moving the money out of the water fund. Nobody tell me that?
To pay the bills. You guys made very clear in the.
We got $200,000 worth of water fund issues. Then that means that well free gonna be online next week, right? So that means that all of these water main breaks around here is gonna be fixed by next week. You can spend $200,000 on something other than the water fund. I'd like to know who gives you the authority to do that, to spend our money, like borrow our money like an ATM and spend it the way you want to. All right, what? The damn. Oh my God.
Janice Clark. I also was going to ask, and I will ask next week also, about Lake Michigan. Mr. Simick's comment about $15. I mean, people voted apparently for something that is way beyond their needs. I don't think that vote should count, in my opinion. All right. I also have a question. Item 5 only has one subordinance A. Motion to approve an ordinance dissolving the special tax, the TIF, and terminating the Sauk Village TIF number 1 project area. Could someone explain what that is in layman's terms? I have one other question.
Trustee Burgess, I know you've been into this since he's the Economic Development Committee chair, so go ahead, Trustee.
Thank you.
Okay, TIF 1 is going to be dissolved because the TIF owners of that, they do not want to renew the TIF. The TIF we're referring to is Fairway Project, where Fairway Foods is located?
Yes.
Yes. They do not want to renew at this time. So what will happen to that, it will fall back as a taxing body, which means they'll, unless they renew it between now and then, they'll be paying taxes to the schools, and to the village and everything. A TIF, when we have a TIF, all the money stays within the TIF, and then we pull a drawdown for services. Well, now there'll be taxes if this is just a regular commercial. There will not be a TIF unless they want to renew that.
Okay, thank you. And just my last question. Number 6, item B, motion to approve CDBG's subrecipient agreements. I mean, what does that mean? We're getting CDBG funds and we're just going to accept them, or what does that term mean?
Okay, would you like to explain that?
Sure. I'll just speak up. It's all good. The federal government's trying to give us $200,000 worth of funding to repair our streets, and all we have to do is execute this agreement, send it back to the county, follow some procedures, and they'll give us the funding.
So it's decided beforehand that the money's going to be used only for street repair, not home repair like it has been done in the past?
There's a 5-year plan that we have to put in place, and it was decided, I think, 3 years ago for this period to use it all for roadway repair. But you're absolutely right, there are other uses for it.
Okay, and this is every year that we get X amount? Or every 5 years?
No, it's every year we get funding for it, and this year we're actually getting $200,000. We previously got only $100,000.
Okay, now is this federal or state?
It's federal.
Okay. I know the community development block grant, so that's all I have to do.
Linda Washington, 225th place. First of all, I want to say you made several appointments tonight, and I could not help but observe that you only appointed people that was one ethnic background. You could not find any person qualified. That's right. Ethnic background other than the ethnic background that you appointed approximately 6 or 8 appointments tonight. I'm talking to the acting mayor.
If you wanna talk to me, I'll meet you
Please
outside.
address the chair. I can tell you.
These were these appointments made by the entire board. That's what I want to know, the input for all of the appointments that you made tonight. Were these individuals recommended by the entire board of trustees?
The way these individuals came up was individuals that applied for the vacant seat for Robert Chavez, the ones that provided letters. And then, again, the trustees were given all the letters to present their top three picks for trustee. Mr. Poskin is sitting here tonight because he received the most votes. And then the other ones that applied for the position for trustee were offered vacancies that were within the village.
Okay, how did you go about the process of making those vacancies available to the public so that the people could apply for those positions?
Anybody can send a letter, and if you're interested into a vacancy, whenever, I mean, if anyone resigns or retires or moves, there's vacancies throughout other committees and commissions. So if you send a letter to my attention, we'll keep it on file, and as those seats become open, we'll just bring those back out.
I think that's a very candid answer. What I'm asking you is, Mayor Towers only been gone 1 week. How did all of these people know that these vacancies were available to apply for? That's what I'm asking.
I can tell you.
Now, I only have 3 minutes. So the liquor license commissioner, the money that is collected from the liquor license, I know that the person that you appointed tonight may be getting paid zero, but where's the liquor license money going? Because in most municipalities, the mayor is the liquor license commissioner for that town.
The money doesn't go to the mayor. The money doesn't go, it goes to the general fund.
It goes back into the general fund?
Correct.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. And then also, the veterans program, as well as the program coming up with the turkeys. I think I heard the gentleman say that people had tickets to attend the veterans ceremony. Was it a ticketed event?
No.
What did it say about the tickets?
I think it was raffle tickets he was talking about.
Oh, okay, because a lot of us did not know anything about the veterans program. Was it on Sunday?
It was Sunday, it was announced at village board meetings.
Okay, a lot of people did not know about that. And the turkeys that's being passed out, I understand that they met the quota of the amount of people that they're going to be able to service.
I'm sorry.
The turkeys that are going to be passed out throughout the village for Thanksgiving, have they met the quota of the amount of turkeys that they're going to be able to service families with?
I think we're over the quota, correct?
We're over the quota, but I just found out that we might be able to accept a few more. And as I left it on my recorder, on my voicemail, that people can continue to call in as funding is available. We will service however many we can.
And
so the answer to that question is we have met our quota, but we are going to try to do everything we can to service as many people as possible.
And the people that quota have been met with, how did those people get that information disseminated to them?
That information was posted in the village hall. It was posted at the front desk as people came in to pay their water bills. It was passed out during the food pantry early this morning. The Respond Now Food Pantry signed up the first 50 people that came into the food pantry on their own, and then the rest of the food pantry recipients were told to call my extension and my office. So it was posted at the library, it was posted at the village hall, and somebody actually got it posted on the Facebook through all of this other information that was disseminated. So yes, it's kind of hard to get word out in a quick fashion, but word of mouth spreads really quickly. Believe me, I had over 100 phone calls today, so somehow people found out about it.
All of these appointments and all of these vacancies and all of these availabilities all happened since Wednesday until today. And all this information has been disseminated all over the village as far as it could be so that residents could know about all of these different things you all voted on tonight. Lastly, I want to know, Mr. Hayes, Trustee, Acting Mayor Hayes, will you be making available a cell phone number to us so that we can contact you if we need to?
If you need to contact me, you call the village shop.
Okay, so to answer my question, the answer is no. Because as you know, Mayor Towers has cell phone, they run all day and all night. You meet people on the street everywhere, give them that number.
Ms. Washington, let me say this. Since last week, I don't know what came over the trustee's desk, but I have not received no names of all the vacancies except one for the trustees. I did receive those. This gentleman's name was on it. But for all of the other appointments that was made, I never knew anything about it until tonight. So you know.
Thank you. I will be back next week.
I'll wait until Tom's question.
I'm just going to make a statement also here about the appointments, but I will hold off. Go ahead.
Larry Stewart, Housing Commission. This was on the agenda, the appointment process. I'm a little disappointed. John and I served on the Housing Commission. I appreciate it. Gary Holcomb and I served on the Housing Commission. I appreciate it. The point I'm having trouble with is I don't serve with any other people of color. The village is a diverse community. I didn't see the process there. This was, I'm a little bit off-center by how they came to these votes without any people of color. And we have people, and I don't know how many people of color put in their names, but I would have liked to have seen at least one. I mean, I'm really upset by this. You know, I mean, they're not taking anything away from John or Gary Holcomb or Jeff Morton, but either I didn't see to where names, I mean, I rushed here last week to submit names. People of color, just to have it to where we have a voice. It seems like it's getting smaller and a little shallower. But see, the thing is, we will have an election. And our voices will be heard. That's all I have to say.
Mr. Stewart, all I got to say is the appointments are not complete. There's only a few appointments that are made tonight. Coming back for this village board next week to present more. So you may ask, why are all these seats being filled? It's probably because we had a mayor who was not doing his job. There was a mayor who was not fulfilling these seats. He was not presenting anyone for this village board. So I think you have to realize, again, there's going to be additional appointments that will continue as we fill these seats that need to be filled. So
I'll take that into consideration as you sedate. See, because are the people aware of these appointments? I'm not. I'm not, because everybody should have an opportunity. Everybody. Okay? Because I was a little bit disappointed. And the people that were appointed are friends of mine, without doubt. But I do have more friends, whether they understand that or not. And I would like to see our community diversely voted in. Fair enough?
definitely.
Okay, that's all. Good enough. Thank you, sir.
Just as I said earlier, if you're interested in working on a committee or commission, present a letter to my attention at the village hall.
Mr. Stewart, Ms. Washington, the gentleman, I think that Trustee Hanks made a statement earlier about there was a report. There was a report given last week in the village board meeting about the Veterans Affair that they had Sunday. It was not.
Yes, that's true.
It was not.
Because he said he had to do something in his church.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Oh my
The
goodness.
trustee does not pay attention. He's here, so I understand why he did not hear it being announced. Because it came from Rose Lindstrom during her report. Again, in fact, you asked tonight if anyone was listening to your report. I think it's proven fact that they don't.
Should I speak up?
We should listen.
Thank you. Rose Langston. On the appointment, I want to congratulate John Hoffman, our new trustee, Jeff and Gary Bell on Zoning Board of Commission, Gary Holcomb as Chair of Housing, and I certainly hope he's not going to give up my committee because he's been a wonderful volunteer here. And also to Sherry, I know I won't be applying for a liquor license. Okay. I do want to congratulate her. I'm sure the board did not have an easy time making their choice, and you do have to be qualified. And I hate to hear this ratio, the number, that shouldn't enter into it. Experience is the thing. I don't see any Oriental, sir, and I'm not complaining. Thank you.
Acting Mayor Ed Hanks. I'm Francine Anderson, and I live at 1606 216th Street. And I guarantee all of my questions will come directly from your agenda for today. First of all, let's start with your council, and I agree with Mr. Stewart as well as Ms. Washington, that it was very disheartening not to have any demographics that represent the total capacity of what our town looks like. I will start with the council and congratulations to those who did get appointed, and I would like to know what vehicles from now on will you use to let the citizens know about those particular positions that are open. We have Sauk, there was nothing there. We have the ability to put stuff on the bulletin board on Sauk Trail, there was nothing there. So I think something was done that the rest of the citizens weren't privy to. So maybe you can make some corrections, and in your next positions, you can do that. But now, let's go to your accounts payable. So, on page, I can give all to you, but then maybe you can answer all of my questions, and that some of those others will say it was not on the board. The second page, the general fund for professional services, I understand Oxford and Sturk is being paid $62,755.20 today. That you borrowed $200,000 from the water fund. And in his report, the attorney said that he just cleared up today 60 grievances that were presented by the police department through the FOP, in which he saved the village approximately $42,000. So, in return, if he saved us $42,000 and you're paying him $62,000, I think we're still in the red about $20,000. It's just simple math. Can we go to the next page, sir? Matter of fact, it's on page 3. I would like to know, under the fire prevention expenses, you have something from positive promotion. I would like to know, what was that $679.53 for? Next question, sir. You have under the water fund, you have water fund customer deposits, which was a total of $214. And then on the next, which come out of account $250. Then we go to account $350, which is the water fund, and that water fund state utilities fees, in which someone was refunded $49.66, which is a total of $249.66. I would like to know what was the difference and why are the deposits in different areas.
That definitely be a question for Mr. Mohan to respond to, and he's not here.
So can you have those questions for me at another time? Do you know anything about the difference between? Because usually when you're a trustee, you answer all the financial questions, so I figured you would have some today.
Then we can assume that they are, but we're not going to. I think those are great questions to be foiled.
You have no answer for any of my questions? Are you sure your village clerk got them all? Because when I go to the AP office, I want them to be clear, that I was clear about what exactly I presented and asked questions.
You have the option to foil those questions. Your time is up. Next.
Those who don't know, there is an ABC on that Illinois tax that they present.
I see no one else at the podium, so I ask for miscellaneous number 11, comments from the Board of Trustees.
I have a couple. Number one, it was mentioned tonight, and it was mentioned in a couple other places I've received information from about why certain things aren't in the Sauk Talk. I do want to remind everybody that Sauk Talk is a bi-monthly newsletter. make sure that everybody's aware of that. Number two, there was a question tonight about cell phone. I want to say, did Bruce Connors in charge of a cell phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we got that. And also, we talked about, I know the Public Relations Committee has gone back and forth with a couple different of our members today about the Thanksgiving baskets, and I do want to just say thank you to Mayor Haynes for asking for donations. Tonight, we have received $20 from Mr. Zinski, $20 from myself, and $20 from the village clerk. And because of communications with the village clerk, I would like to say thank you to Odo Swinster for my check of $500. Thank you very much. And that will go for Thanksgiving. Thank you. And lastly, I just want to say again that I want to say thank you to everybody who did apply for the position who sent in letters. I want to say welcome to all the people who were appointed. And hopefully this is the last time that race will have to be brought up. But I do want to remind people that the village was here before the year 2005. And there was not a single person of any person of color on this board until 2005. And I know that because that was me. I was the first one. And I know that there are some people in this audience who are talking about how there's no representation. And I want to remind you that before 2005, there was nobody up here. But business was still conducted. You still got your fair share. I gave every person at the podium respect. All masters is the same. I would hope that we can understand that race was not brought into the village until the last administration made it a point of saying, you are this, you are that, now you have to be separate. We don't have to be separate. We don't have to be I'm black, you're white. We don't have to be that way. We have to be a village. We have to be a united set of citizens that are here to better Sauk Village. And we're not going to be able to do that if every time we look at a person, the first thing we see is what color they are. That's not going to work. It hasn't worked for 3 years. It's not going to work continuously. So I'm just going to make a final plea that we can understand that if you want to get everything that you think you deserve, please work with me. Work with individuals, work with the board collectively, but don't disparage any one of us because of our race or what you think you don't need to talk to us for that reason. I think that we're all more intelligent than that. We all come from better stock than that. And I'm just asking that we all try to move forward.
Did you mention the prejudice and the donations? There's a check in there.
You didn't put anybody else.
No, on the inside, I'm sorry. I just didn't want to say that.
I'm sorry, I didn't see the check in here. I'm sorry. And Robert and Rosemary Ketchum for their $25 donation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I received a invitation to attend a Chicago Southland Economic Development Corporation seminar Friday 8:30 to 10:30. And it's very interesting, the agenda they have. Obviously, this, I sit on the Mayor Sherman staff for the housing. And they're going to have people speak there, and I really hope that a trustee or somebody from the village of Sauk can attend. Because they're going to bring some guest speakers down there. They're going to talk about the new factories open up throughout the South Suburban, where there are estimated about 500 jobs available for the South Side. They're also going to have a group in there that's It's a new community development fund where the village can actually receive funding to help finance and get these properties that is in delinquent and back in shape and get them on the market and get them sold again. And also there's money out there that the residents themselves that can go for this and see if you can get in the process of losing your house, can come and I will give all this money. You can come back if the members are ready, probably bring back, but where you can go to these people and they help you to save your house and everything. It sounds like a dynamite seminar, and once again I urge the mayor to have someone go to the village of Sauk Village. The last thing is I like the mayor commission to go ahead and stay with the Marvis Group, and I believe he already received volunteers from the plan organization to help decorate, and Kevin is going to try to get the tree and everything for the Santa Parade and everything. That's a tradition that's been in this town as long as I've been out here. And, we have lost a lot of stuff. It's a simple thing. A jolly old guy dressed up. I had the kids love to see him, drive through town, wave to him. It's something that it's our youth, it's our kids, and they love to see it. It's something that we should not ever let go in this town. So I like the mayor to allow me to stay with the group and make sure it gets all the crew and everything. Thanks, that's all I have, sir.
First of all, definitely, I'd like to, first of all, thank you for volunteering and helping out. So this is something that is and should happen. So I'd like to thank, again, Marla and the plan and yourself and all the volunteers as you prepare to get ready for the parade and for the lighting of the Christmas tree. And of course, I know that the young people in the community enjoy coming out and seeing Santa. So thank you very much. And I've already had a representative from the village going to that. So Sherry will be attending. And I don't know if our new chair is going or not, but I'll check it out for the house authority. Okay. And then the village clerk is also attending. All right, you have anything else? Trustee Benson. Trustee Poskin.
I'd just like to say thank you to the board, and to the mayor, and to all the people of Sauk Village for giving me this chance to represent you. And I promise you that I will do the best that I can. That's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Burgess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to say a couple of things. First of all, as you guys go forth tonight, I know that everyone is, and there was a gentleman that got up and made a statement about race and things like that. As you know how I feel about division. But I will say this, I mean, we can agree to disagree. I told the mayor that, I may not agree with his appointment, but I will work with the individual. I will work with the trustee as if he's a regular trustee. He was appointed by the majority of the board, so to sit here and to, we've done this before, people. We've done this. We've done this before, going back and forth. Okay, it was a majority. We have to show, and we should show, that we're big enough to work with any individual that's put into a position to help govern this village. I will do that. I pledge, and I told the mayor that, even though I may disagree on some things, I will still pledge to keep this village together. We have to. I look out here tonight, and I'll say this real slow. I look out here tonight, and I'm hoping that we all live out here together. We are. If something happens to one, it'll affect everyone. When your house is on fire and you live next door to a person you may not like or whatever, vice versa, all of a sudden, you need help. There are no atheists in Foxhole. We have to work together. We have to work together for the greater good of this village. But to keep bouncing up against the wall, stating other things, work with. If you want to change things, you know the proper way to change things. You know the proper way to change things. But to sit here and go back and forth and create more hatred that you live in, you leave, everybody leaves out here together. You leave out that door together. You come in here together. We don't need that. We really do not. We have a lot of other issues other than that we need to address out here in the village. And number one is to take care of our homes and our investments that we all went out here and came out here and got involved in. You invested when you came out here. That's your number one priority, is your investment. Because if something happens out here, I'm sure your neighbors may be the same person that you hate, may be the person that you may have to ask for help. So all I'm asking is, okay, fine. You may not be happy with everything that happens. There's a vehicle for that. But to outwardly show and to do this is not good for anyone. And that's everyone together. We don't need this division. We're not that big. We're not that big, ladies and gentlemen. We're not that big of a community to have something like that. Even if we were, we should be at least mature enough not to do this. And I'm asking all of the residents, let's work together to move this village forward so we can bring investors in here, so we can bring people in here that's willing to come in here. And as you talked about earlier about our money, we don't have anyone to come in here to invest. It will fall back on the residents. It will fall on each and every homeowner that pays taxes. The taxes will go up because you have services you have to pay for. So all I'm asking is, let's try. If you have, bring it up intelligently, but don't cite riots and things like that. That doesn't do anyone any good at all. It does not. Let's try. I mean, all I can do is just put the olive branch out there, and all I'm asking everyone is on both sides. I don't care if it's red, green, black, gray, or blue. Let's try to work together, because guess what? When things go down, we all have to pay. You see what's happening with the water. You see what's happening with your own home values. Your house values are going down. And if we continue to keep doing this, we won't get any money. And as I stated before, you have people that sit in this audience that may want to invest in this area. They may want to invest out here. But they see this, why would they want to come out here? All I'm doing is asking, please. I'm not trying to say let's get along, let's be professional. That's all I'm asking. I also like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And our meeting for economic development will be this Thursday. We will be discussing some pertinent issues. And again, I'm trying to bring, I am working with the board and the mayor to try to bring in jobs and to bring in commerce here. But I need you guys' help. I need your help. Because in the coming days, when I do talk to people, they're going to come out here. They're going to come out here to listen to see what goes on in this village. And if they see that, why would they come out and they can go right down the street to the next red light and still get out down? Because guess what? If you want to invest, that's what happens. So we have to be ready for that. That's all I ask. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee. Any motion to adjourn?